Hello, in this video tutorial we will see how to create a new area, define the mapping projection of the WEAP model and add shape files. We will add labels and change the appearance of these shape files. During the WEAP installation process, you define the location of the WEAP areas folder. This folder is created in the Documents directory by default, just like we see it here. There are some WEAP folders and files that are added by default during the installation process. The name of this base folder begins with an underscore. These folders correspond to other models that I have already developed. WEAP models are called areas. Each area or model has its own folder in the WEAP areas folder with the area name. To create a new model, or according to WEAP terminology, to create a new area, you must know in detail the location of the basin or system of study. As an example, we will assume that the basin, which is the area of study, is the Campo Alegre River Basin. This basin is located between the departments of Caldas and Risaralda in Colombia. It is possible to define the boundaries of the area knowing where the basin is. Go to WEAP. When WEAP is opened, it opens the last area on which you worked. As you can see, the software is shown in English initially. You can change it to another language. Under the area option of the menu, go to Change Language. You can choose any of these. Next time that you open WEAP, it will use the selected language. To create a new area, you must go to Area in the menu and select Create Area. First, we will give it a name. We can call this model or area SIG Campo Alegre Video Tutorial Exercise. There are two options for creating a new area. You can make a copy of an existing area or create an area from scratch by selecting Initially Blank. We can set a password to open or save the area. In this case, we are not going to set any password. Here, you can enter a description, which is helpful to document the model. It is also useful when sharing or delivering the model as a product of the project. We can add information such as the name of the project, dates, and involved stakeholders. When someone else reviews this information, they will know the general context of the model. We can add WEAP Video Tutorial Exercise, create a new area, Campo Alegre project. Click on OK. Once WEAP finishes creating the new area, the model folder is created in the WEAP Areas folder. WEAP displays a warning. On the following screen, select the boundaries of your WEAP area. Click on OK. Then we visualize a window with two maps. The map on the left, bounded by a red box, is an overview. The map on the right, delimited by a green box, is where the area boundaries must be defined. We know the basin is in Colombia. On the left map, use your cursor to draw a red rectangle around Colombia. You can use the scroll wheel to zoom in or zoom out at the pointer location. This works on both maps, on the left one and the right one. The basin is between Caldas and Risaralda departments in Colombia. WEAP includes this delimitation within the countries by default. In the case of Colombia, these limits are called departments. It is possible to define the area of study considering its location. In this map on the right, use your cursor to draw a green rectangle to define the model boundaries. This delimitation can be changed as many times as you need. Click on OK when you finish. As you can see, the area was bounded between Caldas and Risaralda. You can redefine the model boundaries at any time. Right-click and select Set Area Boundaries. This window will appear again, and you can redefine the boundaries. To continue building a model in WEAP, you must first have processed the cartographic information that is available by using a geographic information system. The spatial information allows you to include the WEAP elements, such as rivers, diversions, reservoirs, demand sites, or catchments, considering their actual location. WEAP is not a geographic information system. It is possible to add vector or raster layers in WEAP that serve as a guide to include elements. It is not possible to perform geoprocessing in WEAP, such as vector or raster operations. You must process your vector and raster data before by using a geographic information system. Once you have done this, you can add the layer to the WEAP model. All background layers must use the same geographical projection. If you add a layer and it is not displayed on the schematic, it is probably because it does not use the same projection as the existing background layers. A new area in WEAP includes some global layers by default: major rivers, cities, states, countries, and oceans. You can remove them if you want, but the schematic must have at least one layer added, either your own data or a default layer. Right-click on the layer you want to remove and select Remove. A confirmation window appears. You can select Yes or No. I am sure I want to remove this country layer. The projection of the default layers is WGS 84. We will work on this projection, meaning all the layers we want to add must have a WGS 84 projection. Before adding the layers to your model, it is good to save in the model folder all the information that will be used in the WEAP model. Go to the model folder, which is in the WEAP areas folder. In this case, the SIG Campo Alegre video tutorial exercise folder. Download the O3 WEAP folder. You will have 3 layers in a folder called GIS. There are 2 vector layers called main rivers and land cover, and 1 raster layer called DEM, digital elevation model. In this case, all the layers use the WGS 84 projection. Copy the GIS folder and paste it into the model folder, SIG Campo Alegre video tutorial exercise. Go to WEAP. To add a layer, right-click on the background layers panel and choose Add Vector Layer or Add Raster Layer. We are going to add a vector layer. If you want to add more than one layer, you must do the process layer by layer. You cannot add them all at once. Go to the GIS folder within the SIG Campo Alegre video tutorial exercise folder. Add main rivers first. Click on Open. You can choose map colors, styles, and labels to display and view or edit associated attribute data on the map layer window. The map layer window has 4 tabs on the left: Map File, Appearance, Label, and Linkage. The Map File tab shows the name of the shapefile, shape type, point, area, or lines, the numbers of features in the layer, and the structure of the attribute table. The full attribute table is displayed on the lower right side in the split or table view. In this case, the shapefile is a line. There are 15 lines and it only has one attribute called name. On the Appearance tab, you can change how the layer looks in the schematic. The options vary depending on the shape type. You can define colors, size or width, and style. Because this shape type is aligned, you can define the color, the line style, solid, dashed, and dotted, and width. You can preview the changes on the right. This shape contains information about rivers. We can change the color to blue, select the solid style, and define width as 3. On the Label tab, you can select which column, if any, to use for labeling the features. Click on ABCD123 in the font box to change the font name, style, or color used for the labels. Set size so that the labels appear at an appropriate size. To choose the column which contains the information to use as a label, you need to explore first the attribute table. At the bottom, you see the attribute table. This layer has only one column that contains the names of the rivers. Under column, you will see the available attributes. Select the column called Name. If you have selected a column but do not see the labels, increase the size until they are visible. You can check this on the right map. Set the size to 10%. For line features, there is an additional option to wrap the labels along the lines. Click on OK when you finish. Now, we are going to add the line cover layer. Right-click on the panel, Add Vector Layer, and open the line cover layer. The shape type is an area, and it has 8 features. The attribute table has one field called Line Cover, with the line cover classification. Go to the Appearance tab. We will choose an option that allows us to see each line cover type with a different color. In this drop-down menu, select different color for each unique value in the column. Select the line cover column. You can change the outline width, the fill style, and the color palette. Select 0 as the outline width, solid as fill style, and leave modern as the color palette. The land cover classes will be displayed by using these colors. For example, agricultural areas in orange are distributed in the middle and lower parts of the basin. The forest class is shown in blue, and it is distributed mostly in the upper part of the basin. You can change the color palette, but not a color for each value. Remember that WEAP is not a GIS. It is possible to add layers that will serve as a guide to include the elements. Click on OK when you finish. We cannot see the color classification of the land cover on the layer panel. Double-click on the layer to go back to the Map Layer window where we set the appearance. You can reorder the layers that have been added to visualize it correctly. Right-click on the main rivers layer and select Move Up. The checkbox next to each layer can be used to hide or show it on the schematic. To hide all maps at once, right-click on the background layers list and choose Hide All Layers. Choose Show All Layers to turn them all on again.